Hey everyone. So today our guest, this is our first podcast, and our guest today is Miss Poulami Roy. She is my colleague in my past organization. So hey, hi Poulami.
Hi.
Hey, hi. So yeah, Poulami. So today we are just gonna discussing three files. I think three topics basically. So here are three topics. So about this Angular release, their latest 10.1.4 release. They releasing some cool features with this. Let me close this window. And also GitHub CLI. GitHub introduced their own CLI for this kind of their. As you know that there is a Git already we use in our command prompt, but they are going forward with it and they introduce some GitHub own CLI, so you can see the PRs in command prompt, command line, and you can also see that issues. You can also comment on that issues if you want to comment. So basically, these things happen in the middle. Also, we can also discuss about this Flutter thing that for the Flutter, previously Flutter support their the Flutter is only app. I believe that it's the only framework that if you create a Flutter app through it, so you can basically create in desktop application, create for web application, create for mobile application for both Android and iOS, and also they support for this desktop extended to Mac, Linux. Windows is basically supported, but not that much. But they introduced latest Windows support, which is more. What can I say? More basically, they going through it and said that, oh yes, this thing we are now developing further, and you can use it in your production kind of thing. So yeah. So we are discussing about these three today. So are you with me, right?
Yes.
So yeah, Poulami, tell me about yourself. What are you developing? So our users will know about this.
I'm developing investment application using. I'm using Angular 9 currently because Angular 10 came out in June. So our project started for that. So I'm using Angular 9 currently, and it's a investment application. So yeah, some business logic and all these things are involved.
Okay. Great. So yep. So they released this in June, and there's a updated it's edited part. So this is the version 10, with major release with as you know that there is a life cycle and framework list with Angular, because Angular not only a single framework, because it's a UI material framework as well with it, and there is a CLI version, right? So they are chaining all those stuffs and entirely creating updating whole framework. I think from this because you I think you know about this, because before, if you are using 9 and you can use the CLI version of something like 1.0 point something CLI is there, right? And after this Angular 10 version of 10, so we are seeing that the CLI version is upgraded to with same version as Angular. So currently you can see that Angular CLI version is updated to 10 point whatever the minor versions and patch versions are there. So this they are maintaining.
Your screen is stuck.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So you can see there's a different release versions is there, and they're in their blog, they try to explain what is the latest release and what they are going to be want in upcoming releases of Angular in 11 and all those stuff. So first change is this new date range picker. in Angular material. So I think we are both working on Angular material last few projects, and
Yeah.
there you can see that we have that already a date picker, but a date ranger is the new thing, I believe, right?
Mm.
So I think it's a really benefit for those applications where you need to rely on some third-party applications or third-party module basically. So where you can so you if you updated your Angular, then you need to also update your that third-party applications or something like that. Also third-party modules as well. So for this date range, I think it's really helpful for those apps we like where hotel reservations and there in our application also I think we use this kind of date range, right?
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So as material already provide this stuff, so I think it's like future ready kind of thing. So it will be help for updating our application as well. Let me open it. This there is an example. Just a second. So here it is. Okay. I am choosing from 10 September. Oh, okay. Great. So
Yeah.
this is the way it's work, right? You need to give that first, and now you need to choose the. See, here is a like the dotted lines are also there, so you can
Yeah.
know that you selected this range here. That's a cool, right? Yeah, I think you also change from here like to 10.
Yes, you can change from there as well.
So it will be reflected as well
Highlighted.
here. Yes. So yes, that's really cool stuff because it's really helpful for those who are like kind of using those kind of apps where reservations are required for some hotels. You can see something from this range to this range, date range. So yeah, this is kind of cool feature. So yeah, and lastly, when I'm like currently working on this application, so I see this thing that warning about CommonJS import. So right now I think they are like deprecated this thing CommonJS imports and all those stuff. So if you have a larger application and you use a different version of like old version of any plugins, and you import it because they're using CommonJS. So right now they are in Angular CLI. If you're building it, you can see this kind of messages, warning message that it's not. It's depend on CommonJS. You need to optimize your Angular JSON. So you need to add something in build option. So see, there is a message called that to disable this warning, add Firebase app to the allowed CommonJS dependencies option under build option in Angular.json.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think they slowly deprecated those CommonJS builds. Hopefully they will remove it. So yeah, there's a optional stricter settings. I think they added some strict. So version 10 offers a more strict project setup when you create a new workspace with Nginx. So what will happen here? So it will enable the TypeScript strict mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and turns template type checking to strict because now Ivy is going to play a big role in Angular, and due to this, I think this template checking is because you can see previously before Ivy, like from before like Angular 9. So 8 is like in 8 Ivy is currently started to consuming the space in Angular, and it's in test environment. So before that, when we are trying to build it for production, so then that time when AOT build is like AOT is in true, then that is template type checking is strict, and that type like you are adding some variable or you miss some variable, you don't apply any variable, you just put a ask just a boolean flags, all the stuff. So now template type checking going to be strict with your this particular this dash dash strict. tag. So I think like whoever doing this, their application want to use the IV and who want to like development environment also to be strict. So that will be also it is save your this bundle budgets. See the
Uh,
default bundle budgets have been reduced, right?
Yeah, from Angular 9 we have AOT inbuilt. So that is the main reason where strict checking comes in, and also the bundle size gets reduced because the AOT gets yeah, so the bundle size is automatically reduced, and since AOT is a default configuration for prod, so your strict checking gets automatically enabled. So that's how
Okay.
yeah. And
Okay.
IDE
So
engine is also the default engine for from 9 Angular 9.
yeah, that's we are discussing because you can say that because when you are trying to build one previous in Angular 8 or like 7, we can see that we don't need to write some strict type of code in our HTML, so we can build it in our development environment, right? We are going to develop, like we are that time we developed that applications, and currently in 9 and 10 we can see that there is a more stricter version. We can also changes from ts config.json, but this is a default strict flag will be like optimized our applications, and CLI, advanced CLI optimizations will be better for it.
I think maybe because the strict, since TypeScript is backward compatible with ES5, so I think a strict flag will ensure that you use ES6. So
Yes.
that is so that is one of the main reasons. Because TypeScript will anyway, if you write the older version of ES or JS, whatever, TypeScript will anyway be backward compatible, and it's going to read your code without throwing any errors.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay. So as you know that we are like discussing about this thing, right? That it's also dependency update their own tooling chain dependencies. So so I think in this version also do the same. So they are like used TypeScript 3.9 from Angular 10. Also TS library have been updated to the 2.0, and TS lint. Yeah, that's a really big thing when you're developing with many developers. So linting issues are maybe there. So they are updated to version 6. So more TS lint related issues you may face because they strict the rules, they changes many things. And do you know that when we had created some that getter setter in application Poulami, so that time we are like put some private underscore and then the application then variable name, right? So like file name kind of thing. And now this in TSLint from version 5, we are just seeing that that underscore will be not a valid your variable name. Can't start with underscore. So this type of strict linting issues are there. So I think the version 6 also doing the same. They will add it. Okay. So also they in a new application that default browser configuration, they added many browser configurations. So you can see that Android Chrome, Android Firefox, Android QQ, Android UC, Android, Baidu, Chrome's different versions, Edge different versions with Firefox.
That is one main point here.
Yeah, they are added that.
Yeah,
please.
No, that's what I'm saying. They have removed the types of browsers that are not supported anymore, means not used currently. So all the versions that we normally use will be here, but Explorer and everything you might have to add if you want to do.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And see, this is the version 9 defaults. and now they come for comparison. See, there is a I think this is a version 9 we are getting this browser
Yeah,
list, and
yeah,
from version 10 defaults they are changing
yeah.
to
Of
uh,
browsers.
yeah. So that right now they have updated this thing. So I can see the difference is like they remove this Samsung Opera.
They'll remove the Chinese, like they've removed UC, let's say,
Yeah, they remove
and
UC,
yeah,
Baidu.
yeah, yeah. They've removed UC and Baidu. Those were Chinese, to be very honest. And they have stopped support for the non-functional browsers that developers generally don't use.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but if you want, you can add it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's always your choice. What you need to add or what you need to don't need to be added or something like this. So this was okay. So now they are saying that this has a side effect of disabling ES5 builds by default for your new project. To enable ES5 builds and differential loading for browser that requires to such as IE or UC browser, simply add the browser you need to support in this file. So as you said already, right, that you can, if you require, you can add it in your browser list. Okay. So okay, now Angular team fix it. We have dramatically increased our investment in working with the community. In the last 3 weeks, our open issues count has increased by 7. Okay, so 700 issues they are fixed across framework, tool, and components. Yeah, so I think these issues are really getting bigger and bigger when each development started, right? What do you like say about this thing? Because if you see, if I open this GitHub and if I go to Angular, see there's open issues of 2.7k.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Right, and they almost close 18k issues. So sometime we see that there is a issue which is not in 9, but when they are changing from 10 changing to 10, then there is some issues coming pop up on that particular thing. So I think they updated or changes some CLI or using tool, because Angular is a vast framework, like
Yeah.
it's a right, and this is related to their just try to get everything tied up in a package and giving to you. So whatever you want to need. So there may be some issues, and must come some issues when you are upgrading, upgrade to the new project and all those stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can also like as we are discussing this thing. So I think whenever Angular develop like new package, new scenarios or new versions are deployed, new versions are created in Angular. So I think they are also try to compatible with previous versions, and as well as they provide that update capability, so you can easily update. And there is also I think that they added that tooling supports that RxJS, PS TypeScript. So that issues are like they are integrated each other, tightly integrated, right? And
Yes,
so
according to me, like main problem comes when not when you are starting a fresh project in Angular 10, but the main problem comes when you are migrating a Angular 7 or 8 project to Angular 10. So what happens then is, since the architecture of the node modules or let's say the syntax of anything like lazy loading have changed, then that piece of code stops functioning. So that's when come up, and then these issues get opened in their GitHub maybe, and then you have to go through all their documentation to means the update that you do, it's not like it changes the code. It will just change your node modules.
Yes.
It will your, means you have to manually go and change the syntax in each and every component of your entire project. So that's where the issues
Yes.
pop up.
Yep. So you can see that they like as they are stated that they are planning to they have over 2000 issues and they are planning to do a large investment over the next few months to working to fix those 2000 issues. So you
Mm,
see there is also one thing you need to be you need to think about when you are going to be some if you have like there is a five five six pull request, right? So prs are 556 prs are there, so that there is some there's much more time if you need to be in like integrate in your main master branch. So you need to thoroughly check that
mm,
okay what this is the thing. So there is a much more investment over there as well whenever
mm,
you want to change something. So there is a like there's some scenarios you need to check that if I gonna do this, I gonna merge this into this branch, and it's not even that it's a in a project, it's a community based. So
yeah.
anyone can like I can go and fork that branch and try to fix those changes and make a pull request, right? So this kind of things also there. So that's also a like heavy investment of the time to go up with this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, now they are trying to fix those issues. I think we are going have a more less issues in GitHub. See in upcoming months. So okay, they are trying to deprecations and removals. We have made several new deprecations and removals from Angular. So now the Angular package format no longer includes EASM5 or FESM5 bundles. So that's actually saving 109 MB of download and install time when running yarn or npm install for Angular packages and libraries. Oh, okay. So that's a, I think, good thing because when we are trying to import or clone some project and try to npm install, so it take longer time because this downloads. So now 119 MB of download saves the memory as well as time, right?
Yeah.
So okay. And based on heavy consultation and the with the community, we are deprecating support for older browser including IE 9 and Internet Explorer Mobile.
Right.
Okay, so from now Angular 10 officially not supported by IE 9, 10 and Internet Explorer Mobile.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that's a big change for what are you saying about this thing?
I would say that Microsoft has officially decided to kill Explorer, so I don't think this makes sense anymore.
Yeah. So this is also like yeah, exactly. That's really not sensing anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, so browsers as browser. So if they like deprecated in 2021 Internet Explorer, so I think so yeah, let's see. So as we know that we can use that ng update and @Angular CLI @Angular core to update our application to Angular 10. Also you can, if you have any issue regarding updating to this, and also you need to update all those your stuff, you can put ng update as --all, and if you have any issue with --all, you can if you want to put here, so you can put ng update --all to update all your packages, and if it's failed, then you can put force to forcefully update your package. Yeah, so hopefully they will come with some new changes in Angular 10. So no such breaking changes for our code, but it's so you can easily update it, right?
Yeah. So maybe just enhancement version.
Yeah, and tooling upgrade as well.
Mm.
Okay, so GitHub is like created their own CLI, and the beta version is out of. this month, like they have updated in uh, they released maybe in this particular September of 21st, I believe. So I'm looking into it, and I found that something they are really great stuffs they are created through this terminal. So you can see, right?
It's for GitHub, is it?
Yeah, it is for GitHub.
Okay, so it won't work with Bitbucket or.
Yeah, it's not work with Bitbucket because it's only for GitHub. So the GitHub because Git is a global version of something like that, right?
Yeah,
But
Git, versioning, what do I say?
yeah,
The versioning thing, and GitHub is one of the platforms offering Git. So this
yeah,
will be Git for GitHub by me, right?
yes, from this GitHub.
Yeah.
So they added CLI version, like CLI of their for official GitHub's repositories. Now you can see there's lots of demo running, currently running. So you can go and check one by one what is they are trying to do with this thing. So before going, you can download your GitHub command line through Chocolatey or any version packages. So I can show you. See, there's a Windows Scoop and Chocolatey. We can download that MSI as well from GitHub, and there's a signed MSI. You can download it and you can build from that. Okay, and also you can build from the sources to run. You can also install it for Linux. There is a separate documentation for every Linux versions. They have support for Arch Linux, and Ubuntu is all of them, top of them, and in Mac OS also you can install. So yeah, that's actually the installation part. So what they offer, see, before we have to I think we are every time when there is a merge request or there's a PR request is generated, we need to merge something in some from one branch to another branch, or from one project to another project, forking, all those stuff, right? So that time we need to go to this UI of this GitHub and check, and then we need to create those merge or checking the pull request. So with this current GitHub CLI, we can now do this thing. So what do you think? Is it beneficial, or like is it really helpful? Because what your opinion? First, you can tell us our user.
It actually depends on how much people use the CLI. Like, what do I say? GitHub has its own desktop, right? GitHub desktop application. GitHub desktop is really easy to use, and it is people always prefer a verbose version, right? Where people can see what's going on, and it's easy to use. So desktop has done quite well. Like, people generally will switch to GitHub desktop if they are working on GitHub repos. So now it's something like we have to see whether people prefer the CLI or the desktop application, because the desktop application is actually widely used currently. So GitHub CLI has to break the trend to be become popular.
Yeah. So also there is a GitHub APIs. So you can use those APIs to create your own one kind of application or something like that. So like everyone, I think, use that GitHub CLI, like from our IDE, like Eclipse, VS Code, right? So there's also that API. So how you seen this thing is like useful, but like where it is useful, this CLI?
When you're using let's say when you're more comfortable with using honestly, I use Git Bash, okay, more than the versions which use, let's say, the desktop application, because what I feel is that since this is the original CL interface. So it will give like there might be some issues where you're fetching and pulling using a button on the application where you
Hmm.
don't exactly see errors, or maybe you don't know what are staged and what are not staged, or maybe some syncing is done automatically via the application and you are not doing it manually. Here, since you get to do everything manually and you are seeing whatever is staged, whatever is not staged, and you are able to, what do I say, check the processes or the percentage of whatever is getting performed. So then it
Hmm.
is more transparent compared to the application. The application automatically does stuff for you. Like, means yes, like it is obviously helpful if something automatically does stuff for you, but then you don't understand it at the end of the day. So to understand stuff, it's better you use the CLI. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. So most probably we are like most of them we are using Git, and that Git will be like helpful when we are trying to some merging and pull push and this kind of commit. So it's
Uh,
easy to see the changes due to this color CLI environment, right? And not
uh,
and also you can we are like familiar with it. So every time we can go anywhere in any environment, whether it's Linux, whether it's Mac OS, whether it's our Windows. So we can see anytime that this is the familiar version. We don't need to rely on some tool that will not maybe available in Linux, maybe not available in Mac OS. So that time it's really handy for like to know about this Git, like Git Bash, as you said that we are using Git Bash for this thing. So it's available in all OS, and we can really get that out. But for this GitHub, this things also. So like you can see this is a they are using that GitHub issue list. Okay,
uh,
so they are like if you going to and type that gh issue list, whatever the current like repository you are selecting, so on top of that they show the issues list. So you can see
yeah,
that this is a GitHub CLI, and they are like 4 issues already there. So they are like showing it kind of. It's not the current updated thing. It is just put for the demo purpose. So like I believe one kind of thing is here is better that like if you have in a server or kind of server, no one use server to like working something, but if you have a server and you are added GitHub for this thing, so that time also you need to include this like token, copy pasting this tokens and all those stuff to start this GitHub CLI. And for this I don't know how they will work on GitHub particularly. So like if you want to check out something, check out some branch, so we can like do this stuff in browser, but now you can do this thing in your command prompt. So it will be I really I don't know why they start to including this stuff like this CLI, because we are same thing. If we want to done it, we can done it in the GitHub browser, like GitHub website, right?
yeah.
So what's the point to create this CLI? Can you shed a light like why?
Maybe they are planning for their own framework. So this CLI will be integrated with that framework. You never know.
Okay, maybe that's a great one. Yeah, maybe they are doing. So yeah, that's from GitHub part. Let's move to the Flutter and tried lots of apps, creating simple apps over the Flutter, and it's quite handy, really useful because they use some Dart, the Dart frame language, and Flutter is as well as the framework. So now that if you go to this Flutter own website, just a second. Okay. So you can see they already supported all the stuff. Okay, so So let's you can create one application. It's by from Google, and it's a when you are trying to code one application, like created a code, and you need to do for mobile, for web, and for desktop from a single code base. Then I believe there is only one competitor for this thing, and that's Angular, because Angular has that capability, that it can you can create a web version of Angular. You can use Angular in your mobile application using that Ionic or native script for the native related performance, and also using Electron you can create a desktop application, right? But when you are coming to this Flutter, so see, if you want to use Angular, you need to do some like you can use it in web. For mobile, you need to learn some here and there coding for native script, and for desktop, I think it's all the same as well.
You have this Angular PWA, right? So PWA provides you the feel of a native app.
Yeah,
but you have to run it in the Flutter, that's it.
Yeah. So yes. But when you are discussing about this Flutter is like we can create application from Flutter, and we don't need to add different type of from a single code base. Whatever I written in for mobile, I can create the same thing, from the same code for the desktop app. Now I need to change some screen size, some views, but that's also kind of that's also same thing. We don't need to touch more codes. We can just touch some CSS related codes. So that for web we need to change some CSS code to work or feel like it will be in a in a browser or in a some desktop environment. So it will be like a screen size, whatever the screen, it will be match and all those stuff, right? So previously they don't support this. You can see that Flutter support for Windows desktop is now in alpha stage, because previously Mac OS and Linux support is there, but Windows desktop is not there. Now they are introduced Windows desktop. Excuse me. So I think this is also useful. You can see the showcase application. They created that showcase application for many times. I believe you can see that there is a Google Pay app in Indian version and Singapore version. So that's wholly created through Flutter. Okay, and they tweeted about this thing that we have created this Flutter application. Google Pay is using the Flutter. So for best. Now you can see there is a different.
It's a framework you're saying, right?
Yes, it is a framework, and it's like generated.
It's not based on some what is the language that it's based on? Dart, is it?
It's based on Dart. So you can see the Dream 11 application, like right now IPL is going on. So the Dream 11 application also using that Flutter. Okay, so I think people are using currently Flutter application. So it created easily. It's actually come from a like Google support the Flutter. Now I don't know what Google try to achieve from this, but if yes, you don't need to write if you write for Flutter, you can actually compile it for take out for APK like Android application, also Mac OS, Mac iPhone applications, Mac applications. So you can do this from one code base. You just need to Flutter run app bundle, Flutter build APK or Flutter build Mac related packages. So so you can do this thing, right? And there is a lots of community related Flutter applications are also there. I think Windows application addition is like it's really great because if you create one one application that's like Google Pay or like WhatsApp. If I'm seeing it in this way, like if Google is uh, created like WhatsApp, if WhatsApp is created their version of Flutter application with Flutter, and now they want to create it through through a web version or Windows version, so they can do it through one code base. So now we can also enjoy that if WhatsApp can do this in Flutter, so they don't need to be more depend on some browser related stuff. So they can create a Windows related applications and provide direct to us. So that's the thing actually. If you manage one version of code, and then that code can be, you can share multiple places for web, for something else, so you don't need to be like in one place. So our code is in one place, don't need to write several time for several codes, right? So for one feature, if you see in this way that I created one feature for Android, now I need to give that feature for iOS, give that feature for Windows, give that feature to web. So that's a loads of time to invest in particular those different frameworks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is the savior part from Flutter. I think they are going to this will be going to in highlighted, and maybe some applications will become, as it's in alpha stage, so it will be in like production related code will not be not happen from here, but yeah, we can see some codes maybe after that. So yeah, I think they added something called toolchain update, shell, runner, and plugins. So that's useful if you know Windows, as we are not a Windows developer. So yes, so you can see this is an example of they provided. So this thing is made through this Flutter. In a Flutter, they create a Windows application of Flock contacts.
Yeah.
Now this is also created, I think, from yeah, some, it's giving you some ideas how to use it, and you can you need to first move to Flutter to dev environment, like dev repository, then you need to upgrade it, and after that you need to enable this Windows config for desktop setting, so then you can use your application in a create for desktop environment. So hopefully it will work for you. Okay, so
Yeah.
I think that's it. Thanks for joining with us.
Thank you.